Good morning, everyone. Coach Green here from Healthy Homestead Living. Oops, I'm saying I can't turn my phone while I'm live. All right, let's do this. Oh, there we go. Sorry about that. Good morning again. Coach Green here, Healthy Homestead Living, and I was just going to jump on real quick and talk to you guys a little bit of our baby chicks. We got some baby chicks a couple weeks ago, and I like to do baby chicks in the fall. And the reason why I do that instead of in the spring, in the springtime you see the baby chicks at the feed stores and all of those kind of things, and it just kind of seems like the popular time for most people to get chicks. And I find that in the fall time, towards the end of summer, August, September, that kind of time is usually when I like to get my chicks. And the reason for that is, of course, when you get your chicks, here, I'll show you my chicks right here. Here they are. Hey guys. I'm going to come over and say hello. So what I do is I have chicks that are my pullets for next year for our egg laying. And the reason I like to do it in the fall is because typically with most breeds of egg laying chickens, it takes about 6 months before they start laying. So if you think about it, you get your chicks in the spring, and say you go April, May, somewhere in there, you're going to get your chicks. Then it's not 6 months later that they're going to start laying, which pretty much then puts you into around August, September, October, that you'll start getting your first eggs. But chickens typically start to slow down on their egg production over the winter time. And when, because you have the days are getting shorter and the temperature is a little bit less and you don't have quite as much sunlight for them to trigger that for them to lay their eggs. So, of course, there's things that we do in the wintertime, like having light on in the coop on a timer to help keep that biorhythm for the chickens, to keep them laying throughout the winter. But on a chick, if they're just getting started on their laying and then all of a sudden the days are getting shorter and it's triggering them to slow down on their laying, you've got a young chicken that's in their prime that's about ready to start really laying, and then the seasons are messing them up. We go with a fall chick, like what I have with these right here. 6 months from now, when they're ready to start laying, it'll be spring. And then they're in their peak laying season as an early chicken starting to lay their eggs in the spring rather than in the fall. So then they have all summer long without molting, without any of those things that typically happen with chickens to slow down their egg production, and then we get a lot more eggs in throughout the whole summer months. So anyway, that's just my little story on why we do our baby chicks in the fall instead of in the spring. It just makes more sense to me logically. A lot of people then will ask, well, what about then the cold of winter? Doesn't it make it harder for them to make it through the winter? And the answer is, well, no, actually it's not, because by getting them around this time of year, August, September, somewhere in there, by the time winter comes and the weather starts getting really bad, they're fully feathered out. They're pretty much just a young chicken. They have everything that they need, just like an adult chicken would, to keep them healthy throughout the winter months. And if need be, I'll put a heat lamp or something like that out into the coop in the winter on the really bad days. Or, of course, we always do the warm water to make sure that they have good hydration and everything like that throughout the winter months. So I've had really, really good luck doing it this way. I really, knock on wood, have never lost a chicken due to that. Typically for me, if I'm losing a chicken, it's due to a predator. You still have the skunks and the coons and the possums and coyotes and all that kind of thing that just love eggs and chickens, unfortunately, since they're low on the food chain. But really, I don't lose chicks due to weather, and the heat is actually harder on them than the cold. So anyway, there's my little chickies down here ready for their breakfast. I don't know if you guys can see that very well. That's what we've got. I've got on this batch, I went with some Buff Orpingtons. Those are one of my favorite breeds. Some Barred Rock's another one that I really like. And then this time we went with the Welsumers, because they do the really dark eggs. I like to have some variety in the egg basket. When you're on a homestead, it's kind of fun to have different colors in the egg basket. So anyway, just a short video for you this morning talking about our baby chicks and why we do fall chicks instead of spring chicks. So if you have any questions, feel free to post them in the comments below about chicks or breeds or egg laying or any of that kind of stuff. Happy to answer any questions if I can. Otherwise, we'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.